This is review for your functions test. If you're given ordered pairs and you're asked to find the domain, remember that the domain corresponds to the x values. So we're looking for the first numbers in your ordered pairs. So if we list those in order from smallest to largest, it'd be -8, -4, -3, 0. If we asked to find the range, remember range deals with your y values. And we have two that are repeated here, so we don't have to repeat them. So my range would be 5, 2, and 4. On this one, same type of question given ordered pairs. This time we're looking for range. So we have 1, 3, and 8. If we were talking about domain, we would be looking at our x values, 6, -4, and 5. Now it gets a little bit harder. When we look at this graph, we have a point down here that is located at -1, -3. The first question talks about range, but we're going to talk about all of the parts. Domain continues moving left and right, so it's going to be all real numbers, so negative infinity to positive infinity. The range, we have a low point here, and remember we're talking about our y value when we talk about lows or highs. So the lowest point here is -3. It is part of our graph, so we close it with a squared off bracket, but it does continue to move upward and doesn't stop, so that is to positive infinity for y. If we talk about relative maximums or minimums, we're looking at turning points. This graph does have a turning point where it stops moving down and turns and starts to move up. So this is a low point. So there is no maximum point for this one, but there is a minimum located at the point -1, -3, and more importantly, the minimum is located at -3 on the y-axis. Then we've talked about increasing and decreasing intervals. Increasing and decreasing intervals, we look at our graph. Increasing is where our graph has a positive slope. It's moving upward when we look at it from left to right. Decreasing is where our graph has a negative slope, or it's moving downward when we look at our graph from left to right. In this particular graph, if we look at it from as far left as we can look, this is decreasing until we get to the point here. And remember, we're always looking across the x-axis for increasing and decreasing. So for this one, our decreasing interval is from negative infinity until we get here to -1. Once we get to -1, it stops decreasing. Once it stops decreasing, then it's going to start doing what? It's moving upwards, so it is increasing. So it starts increasing at -1 and it goes to positive infinity and continues to increase. The last thing that we usually have done is look at what we call the end behavior of our graph. The end behavior always starts out as x approaches negative infinity. What is the end of our graph approaching for y? So we're looking at the end of our graph on the left side that is pointing up, so that's positive infinity for y. Second part is as we look at the right side of our graph, so as x approaches positive infinity, what is the end of our graph approaching for y? Again, look at the right side of our graph, it's moving upward, so that's positive infinity for y. If we look at this equation, you could type it into your calculator, graphing calculator, or you can type it into Desmos. And what we're asking is, when x is 6, what's our y value? So we could plug it directly into our equation and say 6 minus 3 squared plus 1. So that's 3 squared plus 1, 9 plus 1. That would give us 10. If we look at it on our graph, we plug it into Desmos. And when we plug it into Desmos, remember you have to plug in all of your parts. So x minus 3 quantity squared plus 1. Now, when I look at this on my graph, my question was when x was equal to 6. So I'm going to find 6 on my graph, go up, and it actually tells me there that when x is 6, my y value is 10. So it actually finds it for me on my graph. Either way you want to do it is fine. So we have that answer either graphically or algebraically. Here we want to look at the domain of the function 3x minus 1. So we have an absolute value. Remember, in order to pull up the absolute value, we have to go here, 3x plus 1. And that's inside our absolute value. We're looking at our graph here. It continues to move left and right. So when we talk about domain, we're talking about our x values. So this would be from negative infinity to positive infinity. We look at our graph for our range. The lowest point on our graph is here, okay? And we're looking at the y value for range. So our range, it includes the point 0, but it continues to move upward to positive infinity. If we're looking for increasing and decreasing intervals, we can pull that one up from this graph also. It decreases from negative infinity until it gets right here. What's my x value? Well, that's negative 1/3. So it is decreasing from negative infinity until it gets to negative 1/3. Once it gets to negative 1/3, then it starts moving back up again. So that's my increasing interval from negative 1/3 to positive infinity. Because my graph points up, the end behavior of my graph is as x approaches negative infinity, the end of my graph for y is pointing upward, so it approaches positive infinity. And as the right side of my graph approaches, as x approaches positive infinity, the end of my graph for y is still approaching positive infinity. Looking at this graph, we want to know all of this information. So if we go back to our Desmos, we have it graphed, and we have several different things that we can look at on here. All right, so when we look at this, the domain, it continues moving left and right, and the range, it continues moving up and down. So we can pretty much answer our domain and range problems, negative infinity to positive infinity for both of those. If we look at our x and our y intercepts, it crosses my x-axis here at negative 1.643, negative 1.643, and that's the only time it crosses my x-axis. If we look at our y-intercept, it crosses here at negative 5. Increasing and decreasing intervals, if we look at that, it decreases until it gets to this point here. And remember again, we're only looking at our x values when we talk about increasing and decreasing. So this is the same thing as point -6 repeating or negative 2/3, whichever way you want to write that. So for decreasing, it goes from negative infinity until it gets to negative 0.6 repeating, and it includes that. Then it rises from there until it gets here to positive 1. So that's an increasing interval. So for increasing, it's going to start at negative 0.6, and it's going to go until it gets to positive 1. Then, if you look again at positive 1, it starts doing what? It starts moving downward. So you have another decreasing interval from 1 to positive infinity. Then the last thing we're going to look at is the end behavior. Again, it starts off as x approaches the left. So as x approaches negative infinity, what is the end of your graph approaching for y? Well, let's look at the left side of our graph. The left side of our graph is pointing upward, so that means it's going to positive infinity. As we move to the right, so as x approaches positive infinity, what is the end of your graph approaching for y? When we look at the end of our graph on the right side, it's pointing downward, so that means it's approaching negative infinity. When we have a piecewise function, all we have to do is look at where our x value is located and then figure out what our y value equals. So for this one, 0, when x is 0, that's pretty easy. When x is 0, it crosses our y at negative 3. If we move our graph and we move it over to negative 1, there's an open circle here, but there's a closed circle here, if you can see it. So it crosses it at negative 4. If we look at positive 1, again, we have a open circle here, closed circle here. So we're going to look at this top one. So that's a negative 1. And then the last one, if we look at negative 3, we go all the way over here. It crosses our graph at positive 1. Good luck on your test tomorrow. Hope this helped.